There's a leaf sitting in your supermarket right now that the Romans used as a love potion, outperforms beetroot for nitrates, and has a compound found almost nowhere else in nature. It costs $3. Nobody's talking about it. It's called rocket. You might know it as arugula. Same thing. Let's fix that. Rocket contains up to 480 milligrams of dietary nitrate per 100 grams, depending on variety and growing conditions. At its peak, peppery, mature rocket contains more nitrates than beetroot. The vegetable people are literally juicing before marathons. Here's the mechanism. When you chew rocket, oral bacteria convert those nitrates to nitrite, which your body then uses to produce nitric oxide, a molecule that relaxes and dilates your blood vessels. More blood flow, more oxygen, lower blood pressure, better exercise efficiency. A meta-analysis in the Journal of International Society of Sports Nutrition found that dietary nitrate from whole vegetables significantly improved exercise efficiency and time to exhaustion. For maximum effect, eat 100 grams of raw rocket 60 to 90 minutes before exercise. That's a large salad, not a supplement, not a powder, a salad. The peppery taste of rocket is not a flavor quirk, it's a signal. When you chew rocket, an enzyme called myrosinase activates compounds called glucosinolates and converts them into isothiocyanates, the bioactive molecules responsible for most of rocket's health benefits. The more peppery the rocket, the higher the glucosinolate content. The higher the glucosinolate content, the more isothiocyanates get produced when you chew. Flavor intensity is a useful indicator of phytochemical content, though not a perfect measure. Spicier rocket is generally better rocket. This also means mild baby rocket from a supermarket bag, selected for palatability, has lower phytochemical content than the peppery mature leaves from a farmer's market or your own garden. And critically, heat above about 65 degrees Celsius destroys myrosinase, which means if you cook rocket, you lose most of the isothiocyanate benefits entirely. The nitrates also partially degrade with cooking. Most people know broccoli has sulforaphane, one of the most researched anti-cancer compounds in nutritional science. Rocket has erucin, its own unique isothiocyanate, found in significant amounts almost nowhere else. What erucin does, it activates phase 2 detoxification enzymes in the liver, the enzymes that neutralize carcinogens, heavy metals, and other toxins and prepare them for elimination from the body. It inhibits cancer cell proliferation and triggers apoptosis, which is programmed cell death in cancer cell lines in laboratory settings. It reduces pro-inflammatory cytokines, and it has been shown to be hepatoprotective, meaning it protects liver tissue from damage, primarily in animal and in vitro studies. This is rocket's fingerprint, the compound that makes it distinct from every other leafy green on the shelf. Brain. A 2018 study published in Neurology found that eating just 1 cup of leafy greens per day may significantly slow age-related cognitive decline. Rocket's nitrates increase blood flow to the brain. Its vitamin K has been linked to improved verbal episodic memory. Folate regulates neurotransmitter production. Eyes. Rocket is a solid source of lutein and zeaxanthin, carotenoids that accumulate directly in the retina and act as natural sunscreens against UV and blue light damage, directly linked to reduced macular degeneration risk, one of the leading causes of blindness in older adults. Heart. Studies suggest leafy greens are associated with a meaningful reduction in cardiovascular disease risk. Rocket's nitrates lower blood pressure. Its flavonoids reduce LDL oxidation and arterial inflammation and help lower homocysteine, an amino acid associated with cardiovascular risk. Liver. Erucin's phase 2 detox pathway does the heavy lifting here. Its glucosinolates also activate the NRF2 pathway, switching on the body's own antioxidant defense genes. Bones. Rocket delivers more calcium per calorie than milk, though 1 cup only contains around 32 milligrams, so it complements rather than replaces dairy. It also contains vitamin K, which activates osteocalcin, the protein that binds calcium into bone matrix, and magnesium, which helps bones absorb the calcium in the first place. All three working together. Skin. A study on Aruca sativa extract found it significantly improved skin barrier function and reduced pro-inflammatory cytokines IL-6 and TNF-alpha, suggesting a role in managing inflammatory skin conditions like atopic dermatitis. And the anti-glycation polyphenols in rocket are relevant for skin aging, which if you saw the last video, you'll already know about. Joints. Rocket's flavonoids, specifically quercetin and kaempferol, inhibit COX-2 inflammatory pathways, the same pathway targeted by ibuprofen through food. An Australian study funded by the Rural Industries Research and Development Corporation estimated that rocket has more anti-cancer potential than other commonly consumed cruciferous vegetables, including kale. The mechanism is the erucin pathway covered earlier, inhibiting cancer cell proliferation and inducing apoptosis, particularly studied in breast and prostate cancers in lab settings. Caveat: most of this data is in vitro and animal studies. Human RCT evidence for rocket specifically is limited. What we have for cruciferous vegetables as a group in human populations is strong, but I can't tell you rocket cures cancer. That's not what the evidence says. Ancient Romans ate rocket obsessively, and let's just say they weren't eating it for the flavor. A 2024 paper in the journal Nutrients studied the emerging role of Aruca sativa in male reproductive health. So while modern science hasn't confirmed the Roman claims, it hasn't stopped looking into them either. Eat it raw. Heat destroys myrosinase above 65 degrees Celsius. If you want the full glucosinolate benefit, raw is non-negotiable. Chew it properly. The myrosinase activation happens through mechanical breakdown. Chewing or chopping and blending is essential. Swallowing whole leaves whole reduces conversion. Buy peppery, not mild. Peppery flavor equals higher glucosinolate content. Avoid the mildest baby rocket if you're eating it for health. Choose the most peppery option available. Eat it fresh. A study published in the Journal of Food Science found nitrate degradation in rocket starts within 24 hours at room temperature and within 4 days in the fridge. Store it airtight with a paper towel. Eat within 3 to 4 days of purchase. Pair with olive oil. Vitamin K, lutein, zeaxanthin, and beta-carotene are fat-soluble. Pairing rocket with olive oil or avocado significantly improves absorption of these compounds. Add lemon juice. Vitamin C enhances the conversion of nitrite to nitric oxide, the mechanism behind the blood pressure and athletic performance benefits. A squeeze of lemon on your rocket salad is not just flavor. It's mechanistically protective. Add tomatoes or blueberries. Rocket contains non-heme iron, which is less bioavailable than heme iron. Pairing with vitamin C-rich foods like tomatoes or blueberries increases iron absorption significantly. Add raw rocket to cooked dishes. If you cook cruciferous vegetables, broccoli, cauliflower, kale, adding a handful of raw rocket alongside restores myrosinase activity and partially rescues the isothiocyanate production that cooking destroyed. Don't use mouthwash before eating. Kills the oral bacteria needed for nitrate to nitrite conversion. Few things worth knowing. If you're on warfarin or any vitamin K antagonist blood thinner, don't suddenly increase your rocket intake. Vitamin K affects how the medication works. Talk to your doctor first and be consistent with your intake. The aphrodisiac and some of the liver data is primarily animal and in vitro. The nitrate and cardiovascular data is the strongest for humans. The cancer data for cruciferous vegetables as a group in human populations is solid. For rocket specifically, more research is still needed. And if you hate the taste, you can blend it into a smoothie with pineapple or banana. The bitterness largely disappears. The compounds don't. More nitrates than beetroot, a unique compound called erucin that nothing else has. 1 cup a day associated with slower cognitive decline. Eat it raw, eat it fresh, pair it with olive oil and lemon. It costs about $3 a bag. It might be the most underpriced health intervention in your supermarket. If you found that useful, you know what to do.